Morning, bro. Baby, I woke up. I hope say about the adult. When you push for no be here. Push for a more line soon. Find time to do personal research. I'm just adding to what you are teaching. Your personal research is very, very also important. You know, I just went on Google. Everybody knows that Google is a renowned search engine worldwide that is trusted, that gives facts. So I just, typed in how to um I believe I typed in how to get rid of cyanogenic glycosides, and it pulled out. In the course of reading, it stated that the cyanogenic the cyanide, um the hydrogen cyanide that is in cassava. So that should add to what my brother has been teaching all of us. It's very, very true. Let's stay away from it. One thing I've noticed about us, Africans per se, we don't like to read. We don't like to educate ourselves. You know, we don't want, when once the truth comes out, everybody try to run away from it because we don't want to believe it. You know, change how you eating. Put yourself to the test. Use yourself as a prime experiment. Put yourself to the test all the time. Just, if you don't even believe what my brother is saying, just put yourself in the test yourself with what he's saying. Most times, we they say that what you see is what you believe, right? So when you make yourself as a test dummy and consume cassava, then you can do your own. You could do your own conclusion, and you find out that it's true. I've stopped eating this cassava. Anyways, I don't really consume cassava like that, but because of my culture, where I come from, I was consuming it. Buying all these stuff that is in the African market, you know, all in the name of just having your African food. Now that I've cleaned my house and I'm going on a clean journey. Your body mechanism feels really, really good. You feel different. You don't feel too tired. You don't feel, too dull. You don't feel all those type of feeling when you consume these cassava. How can somebody tell you this? He's not even telling you out of his own accord. When you research on Google even gives you the fact. And I can't believe, I'm just very baffled that some of us are still, you know, in denial, don't want to believe it, and saying all kinds of nonsense. Hey, listen, to each his own. Everybody is grown, everybody has a mature mindset. But hey, if you want to stay in your ignorance, that's up to you. But practice healthy eating. Cassava is not the only thing that you could that makes the Ghanaian food rich. No. If you want your fufu, make your nice natural plantain fufu. That even tastes better than cassava mixed with it. Honestly speaking, we could go the route of oatmeal. Oatmeals are very strong in fiber. You blend the Quaker oats into powder form, and you make it into a swallow. If you really want that fufu so badly, fufu is it's not that serious, guys. It's not that serious. Let's practice healthy eating. Yɛn nyinaa yɛnyae yɛfoa yɛ kutuu w'ahoɔden nyinaa so ate. Sɛ wote nka bi wɔ wo body wo wedeɛ nim sɛ biribi haw, but we are still consuming. And then somebody has been bold enough to come out with the truth. But I just don't understand most Ghanaians. I don't understand. You know, I don't understand. When people come out with the truth, you find people who are going to, defend it, and backlash or bash it. It's not right. Do your own research. You try say "Ebema your brain now work kakra." Go on Google yourself. If you don't believe what our brother Ade is saying, go on Google yourself. Google will tell you. And it's a shame how the Western world don't process like the way we do. We have the fertile lands. We have. You would think that we will use our brains, but no. They know how rich the soil or the land is. So you know what they did? They introduced the Portuguese introduced us to cassava. Yeah, so that we can mess up our fertile land, and mainly not the fertile land, but mess up our people. Population control, all those nonsense. Eat well, know what to eat, avoid certain foods. Certain foods you can live without. Cassava you could definitely live without. They don't do much consumption of cassava in the Western world. Ask yourself why. We Africans are the only people, the only continent that make use of cassava. But the Western world, they don't. Even over here where I'm at, I'm based in Jersey. When you go to the grocery store, you won't find cassava like that, except you go to a Spanish store. Spanish, another another group. They sell the cassava. So that should tell you that thing is poisonous. The system works over here. They are conducting research day by day. People's life matter. Over here, people take their health conditions very, very seriously. Consume vegetables, do all those things. It helps. As your body is aging, you make sure that you make it potent. You know, it's sad, but that's just my 2 cents. I research myself and I send some evidence so you guys could know that this thing that he's talking about is factual. you know God bless everybody. Ọba de ni mu nhyira obiara.